Hey YouTube, so this is the other guy coming to you today. So in today's episode, we are working on my first generation Scion. The reason why is because it's developed a noise coming from the rear drum, uh, rear brake drums. And so I expect that the brake shoes are all worn out, and so that's what I'm doing today. I'm replacing the brake shoes, and I'm thinking I'll probably have to replace the rear drum as well because it's been scraping. Go that makes that noise when you step on the brake. And so yeah, it's time to replace her, the brake drums and the brake shoes. And so that's what I'm doing today. So just a little bit of a warning: if you don't know how to secure your car, don't know how to jack up your car, put it on jack stand, this might not be the best thing for you to do alone. Might be better off if you take it to a shop and have a professional look at it and work on it. I don't want you to kill yourself. But this is my video log on how to change the brake drums and the brake shoes and the good stuff. And so let's go have some fun. Okay guys, after securing your car, okay, from the rear, you have to put this on jack stand or else it's not going to work. Sometimes hydraulic jack fails, so the best thing to do is placing your car on jack stand. So what I'm doing now is I am going to be removing the lug nuts so I can have access to the brakes. So being that this is a custom wheel, it's got special keys to go into the lug nuts. You can do this with a regular wrench. I chose to do this because I'm older now and carpal tunnel syndrome is setting in. So if I use a lot of, back and forth motion, my hand gets tired and my carpal tunnel starts to react. So if you are a beginner and you're not really sure of your ability to secure your car, what I would suggest is to stick this under your car, just in case your car falls down. At least it has something to land on. There. Let's go do the other side. Okay. So out comes the wheel. Like I said, put it underneath the car, just in case the car comes crashing down. At least you have something to hold the car. Okay, so this is a step where we go and let go, release the emergency brake, and it's released. Okay, so just a word of warning to everybody who's doing this: if your car is on if your driveway is on a slope like mine, make sure you chalk the front wheel so it doesn't roll backward. Okay guys, so this was the drum that was making noises, and you can see it's not coming out. The reason is because this is only the second time that I've removed the drum, and so you can see that there's a lot of rust here, and so that's probably why it doesn't want to come out. There's a trick. So the trick is, since that's not coming out, the trick is, if you look at here, there are two little grooves, two little holes, perfect for something like this. Put this in here and put this in here. And what these will do is that they act like a puller, and it'll pull out the see, it's coming out. See? There. So as you can see, my guesstimation was right. You can see here there's a lot of grooves here, and that's why I was acting up like that. Word of warning: you don't want to breathe the dust here. Okay. The reason is because Uh, when I was younger and I was taking auto mechanic, I was told that these have asbestos in there, and I'm not sure if they do right now, but I was told never to breathe these because if it gets into your lung, you could get cancer. Okay, so let's go do the other side too. And so another advice is when replacing drums, you don't want to do both. You don't want to do both brake shoes at the same time. You want to leave the other side so that you can eyeball how to redo this. Okay, how to reinstall this again. So they're almost identical, except that one is opposite of the other. And you can see that this one is still good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this down with water so that all the dust will come out. And you could do it with brake cleaner, but I choose to just do it with water because to me water is safe for the environment. You could do it with whatever you want. Okay, so here I go. You know, and if you're gonna say the other guy, if you do that, doesn't that rust that thing out? Well, you know, it rings. Okay, it rings, and if you're worried about that, then rings will rust that out too. And if you live in the northern country where there's a lot of rust and snow, what's the difference? All right, so here comes the fun part. You have to remove these retaining clips right here, rings, grooves, or whatever washer here, so that you can remove the brake shoes. Okay. Sometimes you can just push this in. However, if you see the middle here, there's a pin right here. Okay. So what you need to do is push this in, and this thing won't come out as easily as I think it was. Okay. Oh, there you go. So what I did, this is my special tool that I made. This is just a Craftsman screwdriver bit, where you put a bit in here, and so that you could, you know, do your stuff. So this side as well. Okay, so here it is. There's a spring right under here. Make it out like that. Okay, so once that's out, you pull this thing out like this. All right. Oh, another thing, guys. You see this right here? This, I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Trying to make this as friendly as possible for you guys. All right. Here comes. Okay, see this right here? This is the emergency brake line. This is the e-brake. You do. Don't know if you can see. Ouch. You just need to unravel this. There you go. It's out. Okay, so you just don't throw this away, okay? So what you do, you remember that there's a spring right here, okay, on this side, okay, and this is the adjuster, star wheel, whatever. Move this like that. Now you can throw this away because the new one, the new shoe comes with this, hopefully. If not, we're gonna have to scavenge that. Okay, so take this out like that, okay, and take this out because you're gonna need this. There you go. Comes out. Save this here. I'm gonna go get my parts. Okay, guys, so this is the part that I bought. Okay, it's made by Duralast. This is for Scion XP. The part number is 832. Okay, and this is what it has. There's a reason why I brought you guys here on my little makeshift table. The reason is because this thing comes bare. It comes to you bare. You're gonna have to hijack these parts, okay, and make it work. So that's why it's so important. If you if this is your first time tackling this, take pictures. Take pictures, take videos, take whatever you can to remind you on how to assemble these. So this is how I do this. You compare them. Okay, see this? This side has this little pin. This side has that little pin. And this is, you see the difference here? Basically, this thing is worn all the way to the metal. See? You can see the difference. Okay? So this side goes here. And see this side right here? This side is all worn almost to the metal. And this side is this side. Okay? See that? So, however this is, you're going to transfer this part to that part. Okay? There. Okay? That's what we have to do. So this goes back in here. The pin here, the horseshoe pin, goes back in here nicely. There. 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 See? It's back. Okay, so we got a pair here. So let's go put it back in. Okay. Ha! Okay. You use this to pry this off like that. And then, so you insert the pin here. I don't know if you can see here. No, you can't. But anyway, let me see. You insert the pin here like that. Okay, see the pin here where my thumb is? Okay, right there. You insert it back, and then you put everything back the way it came from. Goes in like this. Make sure that there's a little groove like that. Make sure that this end pushes into that groove like that. The holding washer or retainer goes in like this. Make sure it matches the flat spot of the pin. Push and twist. It's locked. Alright. So here's that bad boy here. Important to do this one side at a time because I just forgot how this thing assembled. Went to look at that side, found out this is the star adjuster here. This is a star brake adjuster right here. Basically what it's designed for is it's designed to prevent the adjuster from backing out. So now this one goes in like that. See how it's hooked into this little hole right here? Yeah. So basically, here, this bracket comes out like this. See that trapezoid hole goes in like that. Okay. So then this goes in like this. Okay. And then this hooks into this hole. There. So what I'm gonna need to do now is I'm gonna need to use this pin, go to the back here, insert that pin back into here. Okay. Okay. So now it's inserted. Spring goes in. Okay. Spring goes in. The retaining washer. You see the slot. Make sure it matches the pin's head. Push in and twist. It's done. Almost. The last piece of the puzzle here, this little spring right here goes under here like that, and you're gonna need a way to stretch it back to this little slotted hole right here. There you go. Now it's the adjuster that we're gonna have to do. So the hard part now is getting this thing in. Here we go. There you go. Okay, so it's in. And then, you see that? That's not aligned. So what I need to do is I need to use some elbow grease. Bring this over. There you go. So make sure that this thing right here falls into here. This thing right here falls into there. And you're done. Guys, so once you assembled all of this, time to put everything back. And I'll show you this. This is the new drum. This is the new drum. I bought this from AutoZone. I'm not being sponsored by AutoZone, right? But for educational purposes, I'll have to let you know it's made by AutoZone. This is the part number. Okay, I'm not being sponsored by them. So you can see here, this is all bad. It's all grooved up, all bad. Here, this is the new one. It's silky smooth. So what you do, you put this thing back in, and here's the thing, being that both of these are new, they're not fitting the way they should be fitting. So what I have to do is I have to adjust the adjuster's star adjuster here. Okay, right back. So this is a trial and error thing. The adjuster here opens and closes the shoes. Okay, it pushes the shoe out and in. Is that I like it to sort of like when you put your drum in, it should drag a little bit. There. Okay. I want it a little bit more tighter than this, so that when I step on the brake, I know it'll bite. There. Should be a little bit more tighter. A bit more. Yeah. Okay, it's dragging. That's why I like it. I don't want it to spin loose. That's that. So the next step is just installing your wheels. You should be good. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll be honest with you, there's going to be some struggles, but have patience. It'll overcome. I mean, you're going to overcome. So a question that comes into mind is, should I bleed my brakes now that I've changed my brake pads and brake shoes? The answer to you is no. The reason is because you haven't lost any brake fluid and or introduced air into your brake system. So if you want to, you can. If that settles your mind, go for it. But to me, you don't have to, because you haven't lost any brake fluid. So yeah, so to each their own. You can, if you want to, you can bleed your brake if you want to. You don't have to if you don't have to.